It's more than just your output, more than a bike. When you hear your shout out, you know it's all right. Put on your magic pants and let's go. We're cruising into the power zone. Clip in, set yourself free. Come on and take a ride with me. Know what you need to know and what's it all about. Everything you need, it's on the Clip Out.
Welcome to the Clip Out Podcast, episode 472. This is Crystal O'Keefe.
And this is Tom O'Keefe. I don't even have my headphones on yet. You're like...
I said let's go.
You did say let's go, but
I
you
meant
weren't.
let's go.
But I normally get a like, are you ready? And then
did
I say
that.
yes, and then I'm not ready, and then it's my fault. But you were like,
I said,
let's
are
go.
you ready like a minute and a half ago?
I was over here doing a little quick work thing.
Well,
Every once in a while, I have a work thing. Normally, because you got the important job.
I would say yours is definitely important. I mean,
Right now, I'm trying to figure out how to get more people to come see Tom Kiefer of Cinderella. Does that sound important?
well,
It doesn't feel important.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like crucial to our survival. At the same time, it is important to do things that we enjoy, and you do that.
Yeah,
You facilitate that, and that is important.
sure.
So,
It's always confusing. I've worked with him before and Cinderella when they were still
Cinderella.
Cinderella. It always makes for a confusing day
Why?
because you have Tom O'Keefe and Tom Kiefer.
Oh, and it's very TK.
Yeah, lots of... What? Oh, him.
The other Tom.
I wonder if he knows that. I wonder if that's what his day's like.
Kind of
He's
doubt
like,
it.
they like mention my name in passing, and he's like, oh my God, these people don't even know my name. And then the just inside baseball, I think it's is it the tour manager for Weezer, I think?
I don't know.
His name is Tom O'Keefe.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And so every once in a while, I'll like talk to somebody from an agency or something, and I'm like, hey, this is Tom O'Keefe. And they're like, from Weezer? And I was like, well, I mean, I'm not the most athletic person in the world, but I don't know that I'm asthmatic. And also, that's a little offensive. And they're like, no, the band. Oh, yeah. No, I'm not that guy.
So, back to the podcast.
Back to the podcast. Today on the show, in addition to all of the fun topics and the witty banter that we bring you weekly, we will also be talking to none other than Ross Rayburn.
Yay!
So we recorded this a few weeks ago.
We did.
And so, yeah, we had a nice sit down with Ross. He is kind of returning back to a more public-facing role.
He is.
In the world. He's
It's
launching.
lovely to see.
Yeah, and so we talked to him about what he's got going on, so that was fun. And a shameless plug before the shameless plug.
Oh.
The interview you will hear today is truncated.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to run about 30 minutes or so. If you would like to hear the entire interview with an additional, brace yourself, 30 minutes.
Listen,
Of
we
talk
can
time.
talk. Ross can talk. It's a talky episode.
Yeah. And then when he gets into his yoga meditation talking, he talks very slow.
Because you have to absorb every
And
syllable.
deliberately.
Yes. Exactly. And
So if we edit out the spaces, it might be like an extra 8 minutes. Who's to say? Who's to say?
it was a delightful conversation. But yes, you
I
can
hope
hear
Ross
that
doesn't
whole
listen to this part.
you can hear the whole thing on our Patreon. I don't know that you ever said that.
Oh,
part.
I didn't get to that part. Well, because I was talking slowly
Okay, it's been 4 minutes and we've told these people nothing.
and deliberately,
oh my God.
and you cut me off.
You're like the sloth in that movie that I love, the little animal one. And I am the impatient cop right now, the little bunny. I am stamping my little bunny foot.
You are an impatient bunny. That is true. That is true. So, yes, that whole interview in its entirety will be available over on our Patreon.
No commercials.
No commercial for Patreon subscribers.
It'll be a bonus.
Yeah, that'll be in addition to our normal bonus. So you get 2 bonuses this week.
You do.
How lucky are you? Makes up for our
Very
vacation from a few weeks ago.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't feel so bad.
I never felt bad.
Fun fact, I didn't feel bad at all.
Same.
Yeah. So in addition to that wonderful, wonderful surprise for people that we told them about last week, what do you have in store for people?
We're going to talk about
My energy drink is working overtime.
or not at all. I'm not sure which.
Fair enough.
Peloton's app has been crashing on launch. We're going to talk about what exactly that means, how it got resolved. We're also going to talk about the Great Outdoors Challenge. They made changes to the wording this week. We're going to let you know exactly what that means, what is counting, what isn't. We've got the newest feature highlighted. It's a really cool instructor page update. It's going to have this like really cool view of schedules. Get into all that. There's also a brand new stretch filter and I know we just had one a couple weeks ago. This is a new one.
Ooh.
And Peloton now has new labeling for Encore classes. There's still some issues with Breathwrk, but most of them have been resolved. Android's still a thing. We'll explain all of that.
Okay.
We also have lots of instructor news. Who attended the Taylor Swift wedding? One of the Peloton instructors. That's the spoiler. Or
Well, it's in the headline.
I know.
So,
Not
and there's a
everybody-
big giant picture of him.
You know what I learned from reading comments every day? People don't read.
Yes.
That's what I learned.
And people love to get mad at Taylor Swift.
Oh, yeah. We'll get into that later.
Yeah.
Cody Rigsby ended his podcast. We've got the details on why he ended his podcast.
He couldn't compete with the clip out.
Yeah, that was it.
That was what it was.
Yeah,
He's just like, look, if I can't be the clip out,
then just forget it.
yeah.
Aditi Shah had quite the travel day, and she posted about it. She is not one to post when things happen. Tom, I know you are. That is not what Aditi is. So this must have
Like
been...
when she's upset
Yes.
at something.
This is really bad, this story.
Okay.
Like, it's crazy.
I love a good customer service kerfluffle.
Oh, it is.
I've got a few in my repertoire.
You would have exploded if this occurred to
It
you.
would have been Tom Shrapnel everywhere.
Yes. We also have an update on Camila Ramon, her next DJ ride, her first DJ ride, if you will. We'll explain. HiLit Plus, there's a team update.
Mm-hmm.
There's also, they're doing a spotlight. We're going to talk about that.
Is there a
Brad-
special group for the HiLit people yet?
What do you mean?
Like, you know how you have like groups for Power Zone and groups for...
No, they're just all over in Rebecca's
Oh,
fan page.
They should call themselves highlighters.
I love that. I'll be reaching out to Tammy Lynn today.
Before it airs and someone steals it.
Rad has another official 3-day split we're going to cover. We've also got lots of new content to talk about and just highlighting some new things that are coming up. And we're still discussing this stinking Power Zone update. I'm getting concerned. But we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
I think that's it.
Okay. You know, I should say,
Oh, dear.
you mentioned in passing
I did?
last week, 2 weeks ago, that I do technically have a leaderboard name.
Oh, yeah.
And and I picked up a follower.
I know. It's so great.
So now I think I have two. I have you and that lady.
You
I
listeners,
forgot her name.
You listeners are the best. I tell you what.
I was like, I got like an email from Peloton, and it's like, you have a new follower. And I was like,
I do?
what?
You were like, I don't even have a leaderboard.
I'm like, the
yes, you
hell?
do. We
I'm
just
like,
talked
yeah.
about it.
Oh, yeah. Now I feel bad. I don't remember her name. I feel like I should say her name because she was so kind. But,
If it makes you feel any better, you knew it the other day when you told me about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now I've got 2 whole followers
That's very impressive.
on the Peloton machine. So there. So shameless plugs before we dig in. Don't forget we're available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, TuneIn, wherever you find a podcast, you can find us. While you are there, be sure and follow us so you never miss an episode. Maybe leave us a review. Don't forget, we are also findable on the Facebook, facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group. Don't forget our Patreon, as we mentioned before. In addition to an extra 30 minutes of Ross Rayburn, you will also get ad-free episodes, early episodes, and bonus content galore. Oh, I mean, sometimes last couple weeks it's been like an hour.
yes, I'm rolling my eyes at us because we
Yeah.
don't shut up.
And so there's a lot of stuff. And
What's going to be in the bonus this week?
on the bonus, we will talk about GLP-1s and heart attacks.
Uh-oh.
Actually, it's an un-uh-oh.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. And some new fitness trends, in-flight fitness and endurance clubbing.
Yeah, I was like, well, this has got to be a bonus topic.
Yes.
You also have another one on here.
I do. Is there a Def Leppard artist series in our future?
I'm hoping.
Yes.
I mean, it was my prediction, so
Yeah.
not really shocking that I would be excited about
Yeah,
it.
so we will talk about why we think that could be occurring and all sorts of other instructor news
Yes.
over on the Patreon. So and sometimes we just go down our own little rabbit holes.
Oh, yes, we
If you like the
do.
little stories about our personal life.
There's
Maybe this
lots.
week we'll talk about we watched An Officer and a Gentleman.
Oh, and I've got thoughts, and you have thoughts, and I'm really upset at your thoughts. So we'll
Which
talk
is
about-
weird because
It should be the opposite.
it should be the opposite. My thoughts are honestly the more
Save it.
feminist take.
Save it.
I'll just say that.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Da- da-
That's it.
Okay.
But nope. Got to pay $5 or get the free trial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So also you can watch us on YouTube and sign up for the newsletter. You get all the links and stuff at theclipout.com. There you go. Let's dig in, shall we?
We shall.
Peloton in the news.
Peloton's iOS app is crashing upon launch.
Yes. There were several people that
Try thinking about baseball, Peloton app.
the latest app version. So last week, the latest app version was 15.127.0.
Of course.
I'm just saying
I
this
think
is
we all knew that.
this has been updated since then. So I'm just explaining that now this has already been, they've released an update since then.
Okay.
So now this is no longer the issue because
Okay.
now it fixes it. Anyway, listen, sometimes when you do an update, things get messed up. In this particular case, it was iOS version only was crashing on launch, and not for everybody, only some people.
Right.
I found that as soon as I updated, it went away, but I think that they had at that point already fixed it.
Gotcha.
I just got lucky. This started on June 29th. So anyway, they paused the rollout, and then they had fixed it, and then they implemented the fix. Everybody should have the newest version now available to them who's iOS. So make sure you have, if you're still experiencing any issues, make sure you're on the latest update before you do anything
Gotcha.
of the app.
Okay.
This is not equipment.
Yeah.
This is app. There's a whole separate thing about updates. Peloton Whisperers got everybody all up in arms about not doing updates, which I'm not even saying he's wrong, but it just really can cause other problems down the road.
You're trading one set of problems for another.
Exactly.
Yes.
But anyway, this is only for the app.
Peloton's has its Great Outdoors Challenge going on, and they are making changes. This is a weird film to focus on. Like, I mean, I enjoy Dan Aykroyd and John Candy, but it just seems like a minor release from the 80s to
Yeah, it's not that.
harken back to.
No, but the Great Outdoor Challenge, we talked about this either last week or the week before, and the idea was that classes between July 1st and 8/31, if you take them outdoors, then you get a badge for it. And how it works is that if you did 10 classes, you get a badge. If you do 15, you get a different badge, on and on, up to 25. Okay, no problem, right? The way that they worded it the first time was if you get it for earning a badge for any outdoor walk or run classes. Okay, so does that mean just run? Does that mean just walk? It was a little confusing.
Sure.
Also, hiking is walking. So there were a lot of things that
Right.
people assumed, including myself, that were included.
And you don't do a lot of hiking indoors.
Right.
Yeah.
So people started taking the classes on July 1st and it wasn't counting. They were doing just run. They were doing just walks, not counting. As it turns out, only guided classes, so instructor-led classes count, and only walks and runs. So just to recap, no hikes, no just walk, no just run. And now they have updated the actual wording on the challenge. So it says instructor-led outdoor workouts.
Okay.
Instructor-led outdoor walks and runs is specifically what it says. I just think it's interesting that it was so vague.
Yeah.
There were so many misinterpretations, and then they updated the language of the actual challenge. They don't do that very often.
No, that's good. At least make it clear. Add
Yes.
some specificity.
Yeah, specificity is good.
Yes. So we have an update to instructor pages.
So specifically what we have is
Specificity.
we have the ability now to load a week-specific, instructor-specific schedule for each instructor. So before, you could, anytime you wanted to see what was on the schedule, you could go to your app and look at the schedule. You also could...
Unless it crashes upon launch.
Yes.
Okay.
You also could go to members.onepeloton.com and see all of the classes on the schedule there, and of course your equipment. Now they have the ability, when you go to a website, instructor-schedule.onepeloton.com/s/the instructor name -schedule, you can see exactly what is coming up just for that instructor this week.
Look at
And
that.
it's really spiffy looking.
Yeah.
The trick here is that people seem to be very confused about the fact that this is a URL. I say that because I can't tell you how many people reached out to tell me they couldn't find it on the app.
Right.
You can't find URLs in an app.
Yes.
They exist on a browser, so you have to go to the browser. Also, this is something that is very important. You have to replace the instructor name. So this is like the way it's written out for Bex Gentry, Bex-Gentry-schedule. So if I wanted to do Maddie Magiacomo, I would do, instead of Bex Gentry, Maddie-Magiacomo-schedule.
Gotcha.
Okay. This is super nice for admins of groups who want to show this is what our instructor has going live this week.
Yeah.
It seems to be live for all of the instructors. Doesn't matter what modality. However, I say all of the instructors, there's a few that when you click on them, it makes you log in, even though they have live classes this week. So I think it's still rolling out. And you always want to make sure that you're spelling the instructor's name correctly. For example, Zacharias Nedjetsky.
Good luck.
I think you might want to just put that like in notes on your phone. So you can
Yes.
just copy paste that bad boy because that's a lot of letters.
Control-C, Control-V is your friend.
I could not spell that in a spelling bee if I was going to have $1 million handed to me right now. I mean, I can memorize it and get there.
Right.
But I
off
haven't.
the top of your head,
Not going to happen.
no.
This is really cool, though. I love the view, and I also love that you can add it to your schedule. It has a little add to schedule button. So let's say you're like, ooh, Bex Gentry is doing a 30-minute pop ride on Friday. Boom, add to schedule right from there.
Done.
It's really nice just to see one instructor at a time. Because
Yeah.
sometimes it's a little overwhelming. It's like going to the grocery store and you're like, I would like some chips. And there's like
Right.
7,000 brands. And you're like, I just wanted some chips.
Right.
It might freeze you up a little.
Yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Drinking from a fire hose,
Exactly.
as they say.
Exactly. This is a very cool feature, though.
They've turned it into a garden hose.
They have.
It's like the 70s.
Yes, exactly like that.
And now you'll probably get tetanus.
Oh, my word.
So the app has gotten an evening stretch filter, which I'm not going to lie, sounds a little dirty.
I guess it does. That is true.
About an evening stretch. For listeners, I'm wiggling my eyebrows.
Yes, the evening stretch filter. So when you go into the stretch type of classes, you can filter by class type. And now evening stretch has been added to that. So I find it interesting that they can add all of these breakdowns here, but yet when you go to bike stretching, there's still not before or after. Like there's still not a warm up and an after stretch. It's just, they're just lumped together. But
They're lumpers.
maybe the goal here is to start with the smaller modalities and work their way out, because it also, there's not a ton of classes in this. And the last stretch that got added was like cardio stretch or something like that. And it's not like we have a ton of those dance cardio stretch.
Yeah.
So like maybe they're adding these slowly, and hopefully we're going to see more filters in the other modalities that are a little more popular after they have all the bugs worked out. That's my theory. That's what I'm going with.
Fingers crossed.
I don't know.
Also, lots of app stories this week.
Yeah, so the Encore label, it's interesting. So this is a very, very minor change, and it's a little difficult to describe verbally. But basically, we've always had a thing that says on the class card, live class, and then recently in the last couple of years, they've added like a red dot to it so you know that one's live. Well, when you see it on the schedule, you've always been able to see Encore, But when you open the class card, it hasn't always said Encore. In the same place it said live class. So now what they've done is update it so that Encore is up at the top like it does for live, and it's down at the bottom like it was for live.
Okay.
So it's being more consistent with their labeling, which I personally appreciate.
Yeah.
If you just know to look in the same place every time, it's just easier.
For sure. Finally, the Breathwrk app, still struggling. But
It is.
on Android. So if you miss the early days of Peloton, this is kind of like that.
It is kind of like that.
The Android
It
app
is.
doesn't work worth a shit. It's like
But here's-
2017 all over again.
Yeah. But, that's always going to be the case because when you update anything, there is one package that you need to create for iOS. There are
Yeah.
about 35 million for Android.
Right.
I'm exaggerating, of course, but there are a ton.
Yeah.
And every single one has to be written separately, like separate programming. It's a lot
People
more
are always going to
complicated.
design for Apple first. And as an Android user, I totally get it.
Well, it's because it's open source on Android. Not everybody does get it. And I just want to
Yeah.
explain, it's not a choice that Peloton is making because Apple is more popular. It's a choice that they are making because Android is more complicated
Yeah.
to program for.
And I think it is somewhat because Apple is more popular.
I disagree.
And I don't begrudge them that because it's like when you're managing your time, when it comes to Apple, you can make one app update and it will work on 50 to 60% of the phones for, and we know from our own internal metrics
About 80%.
how now it's gotten better, I'm
has.
sure, but like how disproportional Peloton users are to be Apple users. So like if I wouldn't be surprised if within the Peloton world it's 70% are Apple users. And so you can make one update and know 70% of the people are good instantly. You're going to make that choice every time.
Yes, and it's also because there's so many things you have to update on Android.
Right.
You can make that one change with Apple and be done.
Right.
Versus you also have to make 50 changes
Right.
to Android. And
Because
so
it's got to
even
work on Samsung and
even
it's
if
gotta
they
work
were
on Pixel.
completely the same,
Yeah.
I still think that they would make that choice because it's also less work up
Mm-hmm. Right.
front. And you can test it before you, because let's say you put it out to both of them, you may, and now there's hiccups with it. Well, now you have to roll it out again, and you have to roll it out 38 more times or
Right.
however many there are. So it's just a big pain. Anyway, I know it's frustrating for people, but what is the issue? We never really said.
Oh, yeah. What's it doing?
The issue is that the instructor-led workouts, Breathwrk, are not showing up on Android. So like you can see them on the iOS, and I know they disappeared. Now we've got them back since the article appeared, but on Android, they never saw them. They're still not there. According to one listener, they have reached out to Peloton. Peloton acknowledges this is occurring, and they're working on a fix that's supposed to happen in the next month. I raise my eyebrows a little bit at that just because, not that this person's not telling the truth.
Right.
It's just I know how first line customer service people
Sure.
are. And I am skeptical only because it's not showing up on their website to say, here's issues we're working on. You would think that you would say it's a known issue and you would have it listed if that's something that you're working on.
Yeah.
So we will see, and I will keep you guys updated.
Speaking of seeing,
Yes,
what we will see after this, see what I did there?
I do.
Yeah. We will see instructors in the news. We're going to talk about who was at Taylor Swift's wedding, Cody Rigsby ending his podcast, and Aditi Shah's terrible, horrible, no good, really bad day.
Yeah.
All after this.
Instructors in the news.
Should we insert a trigger warning
I
for
know.
people that just can't stand Taylor Swift?
The snowflakes.
Yeah.
I don't even have a word for people
Yeah.
like that.
We're going to talk about Taylor Swift.
Relax.
You need to calm down.
You need to calm down.
So Zacharias, as we hypothesized, did in fact attend the most important marital ceremony in the history of mankind.
Yeah. I know you're joking, but
Well, I think ours is
aw.
because, well, I guess we know who values our relationship more. This is
no.
why people hate Taylor Swift,
Okay.
because they don't like how you treat me. So he made the cut, or his
Anthony did,
his husband did.
but Zacharias was
husband,
the
boyfriend. I don't
they
know.
are not. They are not married.
Okay,
They
sorry.
are not even engaged.
Not trying to rush things.
that we know of.
Yeah.
That they are. But he was.
Not
They
trying
are.
to put pressure on.
They are in a relationship.
Yes.
And so we talked a couple of, I'm going to say a few weeks ago, that Anthony he was on something live. Like it was one of those call-in shows. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. And a caller would just flat out ask him, did you get invited to Taylor Swift's wedding? And Anthony didn't say no.
Right.
And the way he didn't say no, Elizabeth was paying attention to, and she was like, I think he might be going.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a stretch. Turns out, no.
Yeah.
So then fast forward to the night of the wedding, and Anthony and Zacharias get all gussied up in their wedding best.
Yeah.
And they take a picture, and it was like clearly for wedding attire. And they had they call them grooming specialists.
I don't think that's the best choice of names in today's world.
But it's for men getting ready for something.
Yeah.
And so they had like a stylist and a grooming specialist that got them ready for the wedding. And then they had their picture. And it was like, what are the chances they're going to a wedding that's different than Taylor Swift in New York City on this specific night?
Because they, New York had passed an ordinance that
no other weddings
were allowed. You already had one booked. You had to. Not only did you have to cancel the wedding, you actually had to break up. You were not allowed to be with that person anymore. It's very strict. Very, very strict.
So, yes, they did. So the next day, I reached out to Zacharias and I was like, "How was the wedding?" Thinking I would never hear a response back, and he was like, "It was great."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
Did you get a selfie with Spielberg? With
I
McCartney?
I did ask. I said, "How on earth did you handle all of these celebrities and not fangirl?" And now I'm not allowed to like quote him because we did not do an official interview. But I will say he flat out said he secretly fangirled.
How could you not?
Right?
How could you not? Like, look, because of what I do, I've met a lot of famous people.
I know.
In my day.
I know.
And I know people are like, you met Tom Kiefer. Settle down. Like, no. I mean, I've met Bruce Willis. I mean, I've met some big celebrities. But like, that room would make my head explode.
I mean, there were some legends.
Yeah.
In that room. Just flat out legends.
To be in the same room with Paul McCartney?
Yeah.
And I also know somebody who knows somebody who was in that room because Joe Buck was invited, and I'm friends with his sister Julie Buck.
Yeah.
And so the radio station that I do movie reviews with locally, she is the co-host of the show that has me in every Friday. So I will definitely be grilling her about what she can and cannot share.
Yeah. Well, every guest did officially have to sign an NDA.
Yeah.
Zacharias did confirm that. So he really couldn't go into any specifics. However, he did share a post showing who he left with.
Yeah.
He left with Bradley Cooper.
Heard of him.
And he's in this picture. And he's sitting next to Gigi Hadid. I know she's a big deal, and I always say her name wrong, so I'm sorry that I'm butchering it. I butcher everyone's name. And also Ice Spice. So
I only know celebrities, Gen X and Boomers.
Yeah.
And then, of course, people who lived through World War II.
Well,
but after that,
you're just going to have to just believe me. It's a big deal. So, that's the company that he parted the party with. That's amazing. Just amazing. And I was just blown away. Can you imagine going to that wedding and just, I mean, I know that there's a lot of people who hate Taylor Swift, whatever, let it go. Like, if you could put your ego aside for a second and just think about the fact that, like, that was the wedding of this century. It really was. I mean, it is a big freaking deal.
Yeah.
And to just witness that history, to just see it with your own eyes, that's just amazing.
Yeah.
Just what a cool thing.
And we should explain maybe why Anthony got an invite.
Yes, we should. Okay, so Anthony was in the video, You Need to Calm Down. He was in it with his Queer Eye co-star. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but they were both in it. And Anthony had also auditioned for a part in Blank Space, but did not get that one. But he did make You Need to Calm Down. and made the wedding guest list,
Yeah.
which I think is so freaking cool.
And past guest was there.
Yes, Nicole Elliott. Nicole Elliott is one of Taylor Swift's backup dancers.
Yeah.
Nicole she just has a great story, and she's just a really cool person, but it was really neat to see her go with all of the other backup dancers.
Yeah.
Not all of, didn't all go together,
Right.
but the picture she showed was several of the backup dancers
Yeah.
from the most recent Eras tour
I mean,
and other
You're
tours.
an event like that, you're going to end up hanging out with your coworkers.
Totally. But they all went together.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was just so fun, just amazing.
For sure.
And I think the whole situation is just really cool to me because I am a Taylor Swift fan. But honestly, even if a person isn't, I really think that you should just be excited that Peloton has any connection to
Yeah.
something at this level, because that's a positive thing for the company.
Yeah.
Why would you not want that?
For sure.
So,
Okay, thus ends our Taylor Swift segment.
okay.
Everybody can,
I don't get to bitch about everything people said to me.
You can to me.
Okay. I will.
That's
I'll tell you about the dog poop.
It's our bonus.
Yeah.
Cody Rigsby
Yes.
is ending his podcast.
Yes. His podcast called Tactful Pettiness. And it is ended. This most recent episode was the last episode. And asked why, they said they just didn't have the time.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, but can you
Well-
imagine how much work it would be if they had actually done anything besides sit down and talk?
I cannot, but I'm sure you can.
I can. I can.
I got the Cody Rigsby deal.
Yeah, you did.
I sit down and talk.
Yeah.
And then you do all the hard stuff. That's a good deal. That's why I pushed for it right up front before you knew any better.
You sure did. You little shit. Yeah. So I guess it went for 2 years?
2 years.
Yeah.
Hey, not everything has to last forever.
Nah.
That's okay.
Sometimes it's better if it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean, really, there's a lot of TV shows. You're just like, I'm glad, like, especially when you rewatch, it's like, I'm glad it went out on top.
Right.
You know? I'm glad it went out while we still miss it.
Yes.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Then you got people like us. We just keep hanging in there.
Yeah.
We hang in there until you say,
What a-
God, go away.
What else are we going to do?
Yeah, we're still here.
So, Aditi Shah's rough travel day. I know nothing of this story.
This story is bonkers.
Regale me.
Okay. So, Aditi was traveling from London to Paris. Okay.
Okay.
And she was just London to Paris is a pretty short trip.
Yeah, like,
Right?
yeah.
It took half of her day to get there. And that's crazy. But here's why. This is British Airways. She tagged them. So you know she was mad.
She was mad.
They had an overbooked and delayed flight.
Mhm.
Happens.
Yeah.
That's not why she's mad. However, they mislabeled her luggage. They assigned it to another, and these are her words, so don't even at me, another brown person with the last name Shaw, resulting in her bag not going to Heathrow Airport. What? I mean, this is her words too, it took hours to sort out. And other than one amazing woman who took pity on her, it was an awful, rude, and dismissive customer service experience end to end. She said, "It is not my usual airline, but it was what was available on short notice. If you've had great experiences flying British Airways, I'm happy for you. But to be honest, after this, I would never recommend them to anyone."
Yeah. Although I'm sure
Whew.
that's an easy mistake to make when
Dude,
there's two people with the same last name.
You
on a
are
flight.
standing
But-
in front of the person. Come
But
on.
do you
they label it in front of you.
but so it was actually labeled with the wrong name,
it
or
literally says they mislabeled her luggage.
okay? I was hearing in my head. I was thinking like the people that were like sorting luggage did something, but okay.
Well, I
Yeah.
hear it the other way.
No. The way you when I hear it read back again, I'm like,
And it
no,
got
that's
assigned
not,
to a different person with Shaw.
yeah, right.
Another brown person. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's like somebody,
Although
that's
I-
like a Dan O'Keefe standing next to you.
Yeah.
And they like send you your luggage with him
Yeah.
and then have nothing polite or helpful to say for their mistake. It's just like when we were in Mexico and they basically blamed you getting hurt on us.
Yeah.
And tried to charge us for it. I mean, they were not helpful
Yeah.
or empathetic. And this is way worse, you know, because this is her job. Like, she
Yeah,
had to
like,
be there to go do an event.
I even understand the initial mistake, 2 people with the same last name.
Sure.
But then you fix
Then
it.
and you own it.
Right.
And you apologize
Right.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't just shrug your shoulders and
Right.
act like it's the person's fault.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This is not good. Not good. I'm very sorry for her that
Yeah,
happened.
that would be a rough one.
Yeah.
Camila Ramon getting her first DJ ride.
Yeah. So she did have a DJ ride back in 2025, but it was with Seabass, and he was a guest DJ. I don't know much about Seabass. I know we covered it at the time. But like I said, that was a guest DJ.
I'm picturing that
A singing fish.
that fish on a plaque.
I know
that,
exactly what you're picturing.
turns its head and sings.
I got
you
it.
know?
I got it.
That's what I'm.
It wasn't like that.
That'd be a hell of an artist series.
It really would.
You okay over there?
I'm picturing people's faces in the studio if you whipped that out.
I'm sure there are some people who would love to see an instructor whip out their sea bass.
Whoa! Not according to Oliver Lee.
Well.
Moving on.
You got to wait for someone to request it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this DJ ride is just listed as DJ ride. So we are thinking it's DJ John Michael, which I'm pretty excited about because he has some regulars that he does classes with, you know, Jess
Sure.
King and Adrian Williams. He's done several with Matt Wilpers. He's done several with Robin over the years. But to see this expanding is
Yeah.
pretty exciting
Yeah, absolutely.
for both of them.
We have a HiLit team update.
Yes, Dr. Jamie Shearer, the nutritionist, was added to the HiLit Plus teams in the Peloton app. What that means is that not only are you going to see updates about the programming, you're also going to see nutrition advice. And no, they're not telling you to not eat. Calm down. But this will be very helpful for people who aren't skilled or experienced
Right.
in fueling before workouts. So we're going to be hearing a lot from Dr. Jamie Shearer. Her and Rebecca Kennedy have been teaming up quite a bit lately, including their most recent appearances together. They're basically doing appearances outside of Peloton now too.
Yeah.
So that's all great. We will be seeing that as well. And then that's all about that.
And then finally for this segment, Rad has another official 3-day split.
He does. He has put together another 3 days worth of classes and put it out there to help people continue to make splits out of these individual classes. The last one had not shown up in the split collection yet. I will check to see if this one has. And we will have, the other one was made into an article, so we're going to do this one too, just so people can keep an eye on those. Because it's nice to have options and not have to guess which classes you should put together to make programming.
Absolutely. Speaking of programs, coming up after this, we will talk about classes and programs. All the content that we think you should be considering for your next workout. So stick around.
New content.
It is time for the TCO Top 5. Boy, people have really been submitting things like crazy for the TCO, which is great.
It's so lovely to
Yes.
see. I love seeing the engagement, and I love seeing what classes people really enjoy
Right.
taking. And it's funny because the more that Peloton puts out like niche specialized content, the more people gravitate toward it. And
Yeah.
it's you can tell because
Right.
that's what gets nominated.
For sure. So we will start with your favorite 2-for-1 ride.
Okay, so it was a Canada Day 2-for-1 ride that took place on June 30th. I think it was actually July 1st, but this dropped on demand.
Right. So it's
Okay.
11 p.m. So
Central Time.
For us, it
Yeah.
was, but for most people,
Exactly.
yes.
I could be wrong, though. But at any rate, this was nominated by Courtney Castle-Brinkerhoff. It was Emma and Greta. And Courtney said, I loved Greta and Emma. Their chemistry was great, and it was fun to get to know Greta and learn her real opinion of Tim Hortons, which I think is hilarious. But if you don't already know this, Greta is from Canada. So that makes sense that
Yeah.
she got to be part of this. It also was Greta's first time on a Peloton bike. So
Oh.
maybe we can look forward to future rides with Greta.
Number 2, your favorite artist series ride.
Okay, so this was taught by Benny Adami on July 3rd.
He looks a little bit in this picture like Seth MacFarlane.
I see it. He's growing his hair out,
Yeah.
and so the bottom of it has a little curl. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of doing one of these, a little flip at the end. So he's trying something new. He's one of those people that can get away even when they're in an awkward growth stage of
Yeah.
hair because he's just a cute. This was the Helene Fisher ride. It was 30 minutes, and Sparkly 813 said this artist series ride was everything you would expect from Benny Adami. An incredible playlist curated from her live performances made you feel like Benny had brought us with him to her concert, and that didn't stop him from making us work hard during the ride.
Number 3, your favorite holiday ride.
Yeah, Matt Wilpers taught a 4th of July ride on, you guessed it, July 4th.
Wait, I was told Peloton hated America and there was no celebration of July 4th.
Y'all, the amount of DMs that I got.
Well, here's the July 4th ride. But they didn't do it right.
Oh my God. Anyway.
They're going to do a rowing class from the reflecting pool. Will that make you happy?
Gross.
It's a 2-for-1 featuring Matt Wilpers and algae.
I literally had a lady tell me that because the Summer Blast did not have anyone wearing clothes that were Americana themed, it didn't count as a 4th of July. Also, apparently Peloton didn't post their little push until 10 p.m. her time, so it didn't count either. Yeah, there was like a 20-minute argument this went on, and finally I just blocked her because... Jesus Christ, my life is too short.
Yeah.
I don't care. And I am not Peloton's complaint department. So anyway, Robin Luthi loved this ride because it existed. And she said it was festive and fun last Saturday. It was patriotic themed playlist, red, white, and blue USA attire, and it got me in the spirit of the holiday weekend. And I am very happy for people who could enjoy the spirit.
Well, Robin, I know you secretly hate America.
And
I'm not falling for it.
You might remember Robin is now one of our tipsters, so
Ah.
I hope she knows you're joking. Robin, he's joking.
Number 4, your favorite strength class.
This really, Wendy Anderson was just excited about the HiLit Plus program in general.
Yeah.
But I focused on the first day's main class. The main class was a 30-minute lower body strength, and really what Wendy is excited about was the whole programming. There was a warm-up class, there was the 30 days of lower body strength, then there was a 10-minute cardio, and then there was a stretch afterwards. So day 1, you got 4 classes. Day 2, you had a 45-minute outdoor power walk, which people were less excited about if it rained in their area, if they didn't have a treadmill, which confused me because you take it outside. I don't know. There's lots of confusion. But at any rate, in general, people are loving the programming. They are really responding to having these classes already picked. Like, you get an entire full body workout 5 days a week, and you have to guess at nothing. People love it.
That's why I like my tonal.
I know.
And then finally, number 5, your unstackable. It's a favorite group strength class.
Okay, so this was, shocking, the Summer Blast. Technically not a 4th of July class. I suppose it dropped on 4th of July, though, so whatever. You know, they had one of these last year, too.
Yeah.
And it was 45 minutes, full body strength. What I love about it is it's multiple instructors. In this particular lineup, you had Logan, Callie, Rad, Selena, Katie, and Adrian. And they did full body. They did an instructor rotation. So every instructor brought their own style to the block that they led. So that means, as according to Paula Marie Passell-Gray, it was 45 minutes and it flew by. But 45 minutes of strength training is no joke. So if you can find a way for that to fly by, take it.
Absolutely. So we've been talking a lot about HiLit. We have a HiLit tracker and fuel guide over at theclubout.com.
Yes, and just to be clear, we did not make these.
Right.
Peloton released them, and they put them on the teams. They also Rebecca also posted them on her Instagram, and the RK Solid group also has these trackers available in files in Facebook. I don't want anybody to think I'm taking credit for this.
No, that's fair.
It's really important that people do not think that I'm doing that.
Absolutely.
So that is all out there, but we created a page that has all of the HiLit resources in one place. So not just HiLit Plus, it also has the original HiLit resources as well, which is wonderful because then you have one page. Every time they come out with something new, we're going to stick it in there. You can find it and you're not going to have to go looking in all the different places to hunt it down. So for people who prefer that, you have that option and it is available on theclipout.com. All you have to do is search HiLit in the little search bottle, little icon.
Yeah.
I don't know what a bottle is. But
I know. I was like a search bottle.
I wanted to say button and icon,
Bar?
and it came out for bottle. I don't know. But it looks like a little spyglass. It's in the upper right-hand corner of all websites in the modern day. And you just type in HiLit and it'll come right up. Also, I do want to say that the other piece of this that I thought was very interesting and has caused a little bit of drama is that Rebecca announced for the first time ever that there is going to be a rock solid member spotlight. She has chosen 8 people to follow over the 7 weeks. So you're going to be able to see how they progress, what kind of results they got in their body composition, etc. over those 7 weeks. Now, I love this and I'm super excited to see how this goes. There was some pushback.
Uh-oh.
All of these people are under the age of 30. Most of them are women in their 20s, and there's one guy. And I did reach out to Rebecca to ask her, maybe you could just share how they got chosen. Like, did these people volunteer? Did you put out a call on social media? If you did, I missed it. You know, that kind of thing. I did not hear back, which is not shocking. I usually don't. But from anybody, I'm not picking on Rebecca.
Yeah.
Sometimes I get lucky, though. So I do ask the questions. But there are a lot of people that are really upset about that because this program is designed to be specifically helpful for people in perimenopause and menopause, and then to follow people who are in their 20s is just not what people expected. Let's just say that.
That's fair. We have a new Club Peloton class that has been unlocked.
We do. It is going to be a 30-minute intervals run with Logan Aldridge, and it will be taking place at, I think, 5:30 a.m. Monday, August 3rd, and it might be 6:30 a.m. Monday, August 3rd, and it will be available to anyone who is a gold member or above. And again, it's a run. We haven't gotten very many runs, so I personally am excited about that.
Jess Sims has not one but 2 60-minute classes in the same week.
Yeah, we very rarely get this. So for those of you who take the Sim 60 every week, first of all, good luck to you doing 2 in 1 week. But also enjoy, because I know you don't ever have enough time with your instructor, and I think that's really exciting for people.
Yeah. Jess King is now back on the schedule for a Power Zone class. She was there and then gone. And
now it's back. Yeah. So right now, 5:30 p.m., Thursday, July 16th, we are seeing a 45-minute Power Zone endurance ride taught by Jess King. So all signs point to, I guess Peloton's going to do this. All right. I can't think of a person less suited for Power Zone, but all right.
Maybe she will surprise you.
You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I mean,
or maybe it's a way to make Power Zone different and bring in some, because we always joke about it's more like the analytical, mathematical people. They want very hypers, but maybe they want to try to open it up and broaden the reach.
I do think that's what they're doing. I just think it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
Because the thing is that if you come in and take one of her classes and it's Power Zone and you love it, then when you go take classes with other Power Zone instructors, you're probably not. And for those already taking Power Zone, there's going to be a lot of people who are going to not really like her style if she does on Power Zone what she does in her normal classes.
Right.
I'm speaking very generically, of course. There are going to be people that fall in both camps the opposite.
Right.
I'm not saying nobody's going to like it. And I do think that's what they're trying to do. I think that's what all these 2-for-1 classes are in general. We've been saying this for a long time. They're trying to bring in people to different modalities and and
kind of force a sampling of a different instructor.
Exactly.
It's like when an up and coming rock band opens for an established act.
Yeah. I personally am just not a fan, and it just doesn't feel like a good fit to me.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be for me.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
Like, that's okay. But I can't pretend to be excited about this one. I would just sound really fake if I did. So that's just my opinion. And I'm just being honest about that. But like, I hope other people enjoy it. I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
Assal and Charlotte have a 2-for-1 strength class.
Yeah, so the German team has been doing a lot of 2-for-1 strengths, and this is the latest one. It's a 60-minute, and it's going to be taking place on July 31st. And so this is the 6th 2-for-1 strength duo. We're pretty excited about that. And these two ladies working together, they're both really amazing, strong, powerful women, and I'm really excited to see them do this class together. I think it's going to be really cool.
Yeah. And we also just want to talk about the fact that we've noticed an uptick in beginner strength classes.
Yeah, so our tipster Nina brought this up, and her theory, and she very well could be right, I would never pay attention to this, it's just not the way my eye works, that maybe because it's summer and there's more downtime for people indoors, because a lot of people are outdoors doing running or biking or whatever sport they enjoy. And so maybe there's more downtime for strength, and let's get people trying to add it to their plate, if you will.
Yeah.
So there are several classes coming up, though. We've got on July 28th, a 20-minute full body strength with Maddie. Then you've got a 20-minute upper body strength on July 24th, and a 10 minutes glutes and legs with Robin July 24th. On July 26th, a 20-minute body weight strength with Ben, and another Robin Arzon 10-minute glutes and legs beginner again on July 31st. So just a lot of entries for a beginner coming up at the end of July, which is just kind of fascinating.
Yeah. And then finally, Selena Samuela is hosting a PSNY run club.
Yes, she's doing the Run Club this week, which is super exciting. I said this week, but I meant this month.
Yeah.
There's the one in New York will be taking place on July 15th at 5:45 p.m. Eastern. And you can do the full 5K with Selena. You can register. Got all the details on the website, Peloton. It's theclipout.com, Peloton Run Club.
Normally, this is where the show would be over.
Goodbye.
But that is not the case this week, because we sat down with Ross Rayburn. So very excited, very fun conversation, and we will share it with you now. Without further ado, here is Ross Rayburn.
Checking in with the Peloton community.
Joining us today via the magic of ZoomTube, and what we believe is his first public interview since leaving Peloton, it's Ross Rayburn. Hey, Ross, how's it going?
What's up, you guys? Nice to see you.
Oh, it's so great to see you. I don't even know where to begin because I want to hear all the things, but what have you been up to?
Oh, nothing.
Okay, well, thanks for stopping by.
Good to see you.
This has been great. Thank you guys so much. As you can see, not any funnier.
Still got that dad
Sadly.
joke energy.
No, I mean, listen, lots of stuff, lots of good stuff. Been some challenging things. But can I start just by saying thank you so much for inviting me on here, and along the way, you always were so supportive, and just a big giant thank you. And we know each other, so I'm also consider us friends, but I've missed not only you all, but there's so many people in the Peloton community. So my heart is full right now to be back here with you and back with on some level back with the larger Peloton community.
Well, I can tell you for sure, you are missed by so many. I see comments all the time. Every time we report anything that you do, everyone's like, I miss Ross so much. And it's so sweet and it's so loving. And we are truly honored that we are your first public appearance since you left Peloton. It's been coming up on 2 years, almost exactly.
Holy cow.
I know, right?
2 years?
Isn't that crazy?
In a row?
Yeah, in a row.
in a row, yeah. Yeah, I know. I mean, it's part of me feels like yesterday, and then part of me feels like there's been a lot since.
Yeah. Well, let's see. What do you want to share? What you've gone through, like what your journey's been the last couple of years, or would you like to focus on what you're doing now?
Yeah, no, I think a little bit of sort of, just in case there's folks out there that are watching that like, who the hell is this? um, you know,
Shaw.
I mean, the little thing you wrote was so kind about, the thing you wrote recently. It was like a
Yeah.
little breakdown. So if you want to do it, I was like, that was written by like someone that knows how to write.
I can't take credit for that. That was Elizabeth Schlossberg, one of our writers from our team. And she is a talented writer. We have several talented writers on our team, and she did write that. I cannot take credit for that. So,
Well, good. Thank you and thank her. Yeah, the short version is like for people who don't know my story. I was born I was actually born in Illinois, but I was raised in Texas, and didn't start doing yoga until 1997 when I was born in 1971. So I was 26 at the time. So kind of late for a lot of people who start doing yoga. And I was mostly a flow teacher. And then I actually had an incident where there was a young woman who sang so beautifully. We did a chant at the beginning of class, and she sang so beautifully and stopped coming. And I ran into her at Starbucks one day in Los Angeles where I was living. And she was like, yeah, I busted a rib in your class. And it broke my heart, but was kind of the greatest gift anyone's ever given me, really, because it made me stop just being like, how hard can I teach just to be popular, and learn my stuff. So I kind of basically autodidactically studied for many, many years biomechanics and eventually became a licensed yoga therapist. And so for the 11 years prior to, I taught for a while. I owned a studio in Los Angeles for a while. And then I started traveling around teaching primarily yoga therapeutics trainings for teachers. And was on the road for 11 years, 3.3 million miles in 11 years, 33 countries. But I was ready to go off the road, even though Peloton didn't know that at the time. They were like, would you consider? And I was like, thank God. How do I get off this merry-go-round? And, it was the best decision I've ever made in my life. Second to marrying my husband. It was the second best decision I've ever made in my life.
Good save.
yeah.
Good save.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, and so it changed my life in so many ways, and I will forever be grateful to Peloton and the Peloton community. Not only, getting to teach on a platform for so many people, at a scale that I would have never imagined, especially during COVID. As everyone, of course, knows our story, there were a lot of. I was actually at my husband's show, and this gentleman came up to me in the intermission, and was like, he was from Texas, and he was, well, now I just want you to know, cowboy hat, like 6'2". He's like, I just want you to know, my wife's right here, and I'm not crazy. Just so you know, I'm a normal guy. And he went on for a bit and said, I'm an attorney, and basically said that that meditations kind of saved his life. He talked about sort of the ideation that was going on, and I was in tears, he was in tears, and that's the kind of thing that I never expected, and was life-changing for me. And so that, among many other reasons, I would have never gotten a book deal, for instance, without the platform that Peloton, gave me. So for all those reasons, I will forever be grateful. And it was tough to leave because I love not only the community, but the instructor team. Almost everybody. No, I'm just kidding. But I miss
I have
them.
a follow-up. I know,
right?
Yeah.
I miss them so much, and I stay in contact with a few folks, but it's such a hard job in terms of intensity, and so it is tough because they're so busy. It's tough for me to see them as much as I'd like to. I just was messaging with Dennis just a moment ago, and one of my favorite stories is Do you know the dentist story?
Which I don't think that I
Gonna
do.
have to narrow it down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was going through security one time in Mexico,
Okay.
and this woman stopped me, after it was really awkward, and she was like, "Excuse me, are you Ross Rayburn from Peloton?" And I was like, "I am." She goes, "I love Dennis Morton's yoga classes." Me too. I love him too.
I feel this because this is no. Let's not act like this never happens. People come up to us sometimes when we're at Peloton events or something, and they're like, "Oh my God, I love the podcast. You two are great. Can I get a picture?" And then, of course, we say yes, and then they hand me the camera. That's what happens. I was like, I too am on the podcast. I am a sidekick, but I am on the
Okay,
podcast.
that happened one time.
No,
Not that I'm
that's
counting, but it's
that's
happened
good.
twice.
Yeah, so I miss everybody, and so it was tough to leave. However, one of the a couple things, the book had happened, and so there were some things that I wanted to do relative to that. But mostly I wanted to, my husband, he's a ballet choreographer and a Broadway director, choreographer, and he's mostly gone. And like our first 10 years together, we mostly were on the road together. I would arrange my trainings. So if he was doing a ballet in Munich, his ballets are 3 years ahead of time. I would call the studio in Munich and say, "Hey, I'd be interested in." So we spent most of our time together on the road. Cut to me all of a sudden home with Peloton. There was a little bit of time when we were apart. COVID happened. We were together that whole time. And then right after COVID, he was in town. He was here because that's when he did MJ the Musical. So he was then 18 months or so together. So it wasn't really till 23-ish that we were apart for the first time. And that got to be really tough, to go more than sometimes 2 months, 3 months apart.
Wow.
And so that was a big driver of the decision to get to spend time together and get to go to the openings, like right now he's in Milan. His Alice in Wonderland is done all over the world. And I lived in Italy and spent a lot of time in Italy and speak Italian pretty well. And I forgot to buy my ticket. 2 weeks ago, I was like, "Ross, what?" So, and it was a good thing because of all that's going on. It's nice. I didn't be home, but to get to spend that first year, to spend a lot of time with him was great. And I've been working since I was 12 years old. I got a job at a miniature golf, putt golf in Friendswood, Texas, 7th grade. And so that July of 24 was the first time since I was 12 years old that I wasn't working.
Wow.
And I was surprised at how not bored I was.
You're like, I could get used to this.
I was shocked actually. Like I could get used to this. And then we were doing a renovation. We had a lot going on, but not to get too deeply into it because I don't want to abridge her or, say anything that I shouldn't say for her privacy. But my mom started to go through some stuff. And so since then, and she's doing a lot better now, but I think the real reason why God, the goddess, universe, whatever you use to refer to something higher, I think of the real reason why I stopped in when I did was to be there for my mom. And that was pretty much it. The only difficult part was really about February of 25. My saying is my rest had started to turn into rust. And I wasn't really sure exactly what it was that I wanted to do. I started working with a fantastic executive coach that helped me crystallize everything. And it wasn't until about really 3 months ago that I was able to, God love Chris. He, had heard me so many times explain to people what I was doing, and just, just the awful, the literally like, what the hell are you talking about? Watching people's eyes glaze over, and getting it down to an authentic, profound, and useful idea. It took me 18 months.
I'm fascinated that there's someone whose job it is to guide someone on that. Like, how do you fall into that?
Yeah.
That's
a great question.
That's a big leap in and of itself,
It
helping
is.
other people figure out their big leap.
Yeah. I only know it's a she because we talked yesterday too, but did your executive coach guide you by asking a lot of questions, or did they spend a lot of time getting to know who you are, or how did they help you figure it out?
She is, I've been very blessed to know a few geniuses in my life. And I often will say, like, there are geniuses who are bullies, and there are geniuses who are saints. And she is the latter. I think of her as I don't know if I studied mythology for many years, and Joseph Campbell, and as many of you know, like my friend, one of my best friends calls me Ross Land the effing plane Rayburn. But I am exponentially better than I used to be, because I realized that I needed to be a better storyteller to be a better teacher. And I have a journalism degree, and I remember at SMU, I went to SMU, and I have a political science BA and a journalism BA. But I remember Don Hewitt, who started 60 Minutes, there was a quote where he basically said, everything is story. Everything has a beginning, middle, end. And that planted that seed then, and that has resonated with me for a long time. And basically, the mythological lesson from storytelling was, what is and along with Joseph Campbell, is what is the new land? What is the beginning? What is the trials and tribulations? And what is the apotheosis? And that arc is what I have always used. I structure my meditations that way. I structured every single class that way. I structure a toast at a wedding that way. And so she also understood that narrative. And there's also a triadic relationship in the heaven, earth, or gods, humans. And then the mythological character that's in the middle, that's the third of the triad, is called the trickster. And it's same root word, I'm etymology geek. The TRI in trickster is the same THR3. It's the third component. And it's the one that can go, what's the character in not Thor, but what's his Loki?
Loki. Yeah, his brother.
Loki is a trickster. And so the trickster can go, causes trouble in for the gods, causes trouble for the humans. And we depend on the trickster, so that when you're down here, she would, the ultimate trickster, bring me up here. And when I'm up here, she brings you down there. And so it was case by case, guiding me to see through the patterns and envision through my own lens the best version of myself.
Where does Ross Rayburn have the best version now? What is the new best version of Ross now? What are you up to?
Those are two different questions, by the way.
Okay.
Two good questions. I'm going to choose to answer the first one because I don't know. One of the things I'm still writing, and one of the first things I wrote for my Substack, which is one of the things I'm doing now. Ooh, answer both questions.
She got you.
Yeah, right.
She'll do that.
Well done. It was called, I called it Not Knowing. Mm-hmm. The Power and Paradox of Curiosity. And when it basically, I think we live in a world where polarities, binaries, ones and zeros, there, it's very hard for me, and I think for everybody else, to say I don't know, and to admit the truth, which is none of us know anything for sure. There are lots of things that we believe wholeheartedly, but the majority of things, one of the things I like to ask people is, how many things did you say today that you independently verified?
Yeah,
I mean, you can't
it's
live
so tough.
ultimately you can't live your life that way. I've never been to Paris. I'm assuming it's really there, right? But I have not independently verified it.
Yeah, exactly my point. And so because that is the way we live, and I wouldn't I'm not so I never want to get into the whole woo woo, only declare this sort of idyllic, that bullshit. However, to recognize sort of the truth that all of us are making a lot of assumptions, and therefore have the humility to at least intentionally come from a place of I don't know, whether we say I don't know or whatever, and then offer our opinion, and then say, I think the best version of myself is, when this is again something I learned from Anna, like to use a metric of vitality. Like, am I feeling vital by what I'm saying? Do I think I'm helping someone else feel vital, or do I feel like I'm sapping? Am I wanting or pulling? And so it's like, first the humility to recognize ultimately we're all kind of fumbling in the dark, and I'm going to do my best to offer my opinion and offer my help in an affirmative way for myself and for you, and whatever virtuosic framework works for you. I mean, gosh, and there's a few politicians out there that I think are doing this, but like, when I hear somebody that can offer a little bit of humility or nuance, or express I see value in what my opponent is saying. I don't agree with it, but I see exactly why they're saying it. And here's why I'm saying what I'm saying. To me, I think people are longing for that kind of honesty and sort of vulnerability. And I understand why not, because it's maybe not clickable. It's not as authoritative, I guess. I just feel like if there was a politician out there that articulated that kind of nuance, I think we're talking landslide territory.
I think the problem is everything gets truncated to like 80 characters. And if you can't convey it in that amount of time,
People have moved on.
it will be conveyed in that amount of time on your behalf, and you won't get to control it. And so it's really hard to communicate in this ecosystem with nuance.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, absolutely. I do think it's possible. I mean, even if it's as simple as, if you ask me the question again of, what's the best version of yourself? Like, I'm not really sure, but in every moment I'm doing my best.
And then that is the best.
Yeah.
Then-
And that like truncated, like, hey, how do you feel about X? Like, this particular really controversial idea. Like, well, I'm not 100% sure. I see my opponent's view, but I think we should do this. Just even like a dropping of some kind of humility, or recognizing the value of your opponent's opinion. I just think I agree with you that it is incredibly challenging, but I don't think it's impossible.
I agree with that.
Yeah. But I also agree, going back to what you were saying about the ability to say, I don't know. Like, I say that to the kids all the time. When I got promoted at work, the first thing I said was, I'm going to not know things, and I'm going to own the fact that I don't know things, because if you can't say you don't know, you never will.
Well, and when you read leadership books, they all say you should admit when you don't know.
Yeah.
Like that's always the direction we're given, but I think it's not what we're shown by people. So it's like people say one thing, but what is reflected back on us from what we see in others is not always that.
No, you're exactly right. And to be honest, like I would say, I mean, I think about this all the time and I work on it a lot, and I'm still maybe like 40, 50% that I do it. You know, like when the shit's hitting the fan or when you're really under pressure or when you're in a situation like where, you know, where you have less power and you're trying to impress somebody. I have to also like be honest. I try to always self-reflect first. Like I'm preaching this, but what do I really practice? And the reality is that yes, leadership books say that, but when you're under the gun sort of pressure-wise, to say I don't know in a room full of people that are about to, you know, that you're applying for a job, that takes some massive courage. And I would never want to belittle the fact by just saying, you know, platitudinally, like just say I don't know. So as much as I believe it, I also want to be realistic.
Yeah, great point. Then you just took the nuance back in a circle because that's the nuance of being able to speak to people. So
when I first started the position I was in, someone sent out this thing about I book concerts, and they were talking about adding a something to a show, and they used a 3-letter abbreviation, and I stared at it forever, and I was just like, I've never heard this abbreviation before, and I Googled it, and I dug around, and I couldn't find it, and then finally I asked somebody else. I was like, do you know what this means? And then they were like, no, and I finally just went back to the guy, and I was like, I don't know what this means. Like, I don't know what you're saying, and it was a typo. So I'm really glad I didn't pretend like I knew what he was talking about.
Oh, my God. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. So I will actually real quick tell you. So what Anna helped me do was, you know, I think I made this joke to you yesterday when we were talking, like a lot of people like, I went to India to find myself only to find out that I was back in Brooklyn. So it was like after the book and after that, like what's the new brand? What's the new brand? And finally got around to like, she's like, you got a good brand, Ross. Like you're the yoga guy. Like you've been teaching yoga for, you know, over 27 years, like teach yoga. But I realized I wanted to redefine what I mean by yoga. In a way, take it back to the original concept, which includes meditation and includes all sorts of other ideas, basically about unity, about finding connection. And what I was in Italy with a bunch of friends of mine, and I helped someone, their shoulder was hurting. And this comes back to the therapeutics, and everybody kind of tilts their head to one side. We do that to like be more compassionate. But that side is often the injured side because it drops. And so I just had him with breath create symmetry across his collarbones, frees up blood flow, the vagus nerve gets cleared, and doesn't fix everything, but it's a great way to use your posture to bring some health benefits. And the other people standing around were like, do me. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. See, that's what I love. I like posture. I have always been, you know, the book is basically about mindfulness is called mindfulness, not mind emptiness. Trying to clear your thoughts is like what does that mean? So the mind as a, you know, I want to be smart. Like who doesn't want to get smarter? Like I want a good mind, not a clear, you know, and then a different version on the breath. So instead of like just yoga and meditation, it's posture, mind, and breath. And the posture became strategic posture. So I could help Dak Prescott, who I'm a huge Cowboys fans. Clearly we haven't won a Super Bowl in a while. But like, what is the posture of when you choke versus what is the posture when you're winning? And so to use your posture to strategically change your mental state, as opposed to trying to use your mind to change your mental state. And then your mind, use it to shift your perspective, to either zoom out and see the whole chessboard or zoom in to the particular precise thing that needs to be changed. The strategic posture, mental clarity, and then the breath, instead of just breath work, I call it impact breathing or impact breath, which is if you're nervous, your breath is going to speed up. If you're relaxed, your breath will slow down and your vocal cords will drop and your tone will lower. So when you find yourself on a first date, slow down your breath and change your posture and soften shift into your eagle mind. And then all of a sudden, you're a little bit more attractive as opposed to this posture and this breath and I really, really need this date to work out because I am desperate for love like we all are. Or for the quarterback or for the CEO. So instead of Warrior 2, which I do all the time, strategic posture, mental clarity, and impact breathing, which you can do in one breath.
Okay. And so you're on Substack, you're writing, you're telling people about, what kind of your journey through this, but is there a place where people can interact with you and say, Ross, help me learn how to get through this, my nerves or whatever? Like, is that something that's a thing?
Yeah, Substack is so cool. So originally it was just going to be I don't really say coaching so much because that word I don't really know what that means. It is kind of a coaching. I call it a strategic performance coach.
Okay.
And so the original, I've got a website, Ross Rayburn Yoga, is where all that information lives, and working with individuals, community groups, CEOs, athletes, a whole range of different, folks. But then that was going to be the business. And, but Substack has come along and it's such a wonderful platform now because you can have a podcast on there. It can be long form writing. I'm putting videos up, posture videos. I've really just begun my meditations again. I now have sleep meditations up there, and it's just a fantastic platform. And I don't know to what degree what percentage that will be the business versus the actual coaching business. I'm really at the very beginning of it, which is incredibly exciting. So stay tuned.
The Clip Out.
That was a good time.
Yes.
And if you want more Ross Rayburn, don't forget there's an additional 30 minutes of that interview that is available to you over at patreon.com/theclipout. So it's $5 a month. Early episodes, bonus content, ad-free episodes. And
You get them early.
And we like you extra.
We do.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this one. Until next week, where can people find you?
People can find me on Facebook at facebook.com/Crystal D. O'Keefe. They can find me on, where is it? Blue Sky, Threads, and Instagram. Not to mention the Peloton leaderboard at Clip Out Crystal.
And you can find me on Threads and Blue Sky at Tom O'Keefe Jr. or on Facebook at facebook.com/Tom O'Keefe. You can find the show online, facebook.com/theclipout. While you're there, like the page, join the group, and of course, don't forget our aforementioned Patreon. So that's it for this one. Thanks for tuning in. And until next time, keep pedaling
And rowing.
and running.
Bye.